Tonight, a hot-button issue takes center stage within the Duluth School District. We have the latest on whether Duluth police will continue to have a presence in the schools.
Plus, as schools decide what to do come fall, there's another obstacle, the school busing system. We'll tell you what one district is planning to do.
And Minnesota lawmakers agree on a police reform bill, but not on bonding dollars. We have reaction tonight.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Police officers in schools has become a hot topic since the death of George Floyd.
Some school districts, including Minneapolis, have since voted to remove school resource officers from their buildings. Tonight, the Duluth School Board will consider the future of its own relationship with the Duluth Police Department. CBS3's Ryan Combo is live outside Old Central School in Duluth for us. And Ryan, there's a resolution on this topic on the table tonight. What exactly does it entail?
Yeah, Kristen, Tony, good evening to you both. We are less than a half hour away from the Duluth School Board's meeting where they will come to a resolution possibly to allow a one-year contract extension with the Duluth Police since the contract is expiring. That will give the district leaders more time to examine school resource officers and how they play their roles in school buildings around Duluth. Last month, Duluth high schoolers started a petition asking the school board to remove the school's resource officers from school buildings, which now has more than 1,000 signatures. The petition claims minority students are treated differently by police in schools. It also asks for the money that would be spent on a contract with police to be spent on social workers or counselors. The resolution asks for the new contract to be only for the 2020-2021 school year. That extra year would give district leaders time to reconsider the contract's language, create a SRO revision plan, and hold listening sessions with high schoolers around race, equity, and power to build strong relationships. Now, new Duluth Superintendent John Magus says he supports the continuing relationship with these school resource officers, and they will hear from the community members tonight, and we will have a full recap of the meeting coming up tonight at 10 on CBS3 Duluth. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Ryan Combo in Duluth for us tonight. Thanks, Ryan.
Minnesota lawmakers have passed an historic bill reforming police departments. In it are 15 changes, meaning both sides compromised and found something they agreed on. Chokeholds and warrior training are now banned. Officers will get more training on autism, crisis intervention, and resources with managing stress. There's also a duty to intervene when an officer sees a colleague acting inappropriately. Cultural bias will also now get included in training. For more details on the bill, head to our website, cbs3duluth.com.
Despite that historic agreement on police reform, Minnesota lawmakers have yet to agree on a bonding bill allocating money for jobs and infrastructure projects across the state. The $1.9 billion bonding bill would fix Duluth's crumbling seawall and the St. Louis County Regional Behavioral Mental Health Center, among other projects. Democratic Representative Liz Olson, who represents the Duluth area, voted in favor of the bonding bill, but says it needs the approval of 6 more Republicans in order to move forward. She thinks it still has a future, especially in the middle of a pandemic.
This is like one of the best things we could be doing in light of COVID too, with job loss, and it's something we could do to springboard our economy.
Republican Representative Sandy Lehman said today she's disappointed that after the regular session and 2 special sessions, we still do not have a bonding bill they can all get behind. She added that it did not include priorities for her district. Republican House Minority Leader Kurt Daudt made it clear in May he will not vote in favor of a bonding bill unless Governor Walz gives up some of his emergency powers he's taken on during the pandemic. In a statement today, Daudt said Democrats are pushing a bill that they know includes what he described as non-starters for the Republican caucus. He named funding for the Northern Lights Express train from the Twin Cities to Duluth as one of them. Lawmakers expect another special session could be called again in about a month, and the bonding bill could come back on the table.
Live look from the harbor cam. The Duluth Fire Department has issued a red flag warning for Park Point Beach. They say conditions are right for riptides and it's dangerous for anyone to swim, regardless of your experience. The warning expires at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And Dave's here for a quick look at the weather. Dave, I felt like the rain just wouldn't stop today. Go to the gym, raining. Walk the dog, raining. Come to work, raining.
And then the winds and the riptide. So National Weather Service, they've got their version of the riptide warning going on right now. They're saying through later on this evening. Well, bottom line is whether it's 10 o'clock tonight or 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, I don't think anybody's going to want to be swimming. The weather's just kind of nasty out there. A lot of rain and still the threat of some severe weather coming around out there. Low pressure system working through the area has already brought upwards of 2 inches of rain to some towns. And in a few minutes, I'll show you which town that is. The rain for Minnesota could last till about 10 o'clock tonight, and for Wisconsin and Michigan, perhaps till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Higher pressure taking over tomorrow slowly means that we'll get a partly sunny sky rather than a mostly sunny one, but it'll be dry. Still be cool, though. 53 to start the day, 68 to finish. By the weekend, though, the warm spell returns back into the upper 80s with high humidity levels and the chance for more storms, which we'll talk about coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. New at 6, as schools around Minnesota wait for the state's decision on how students will learn this fall, there are many challenges to consider. One of the biggest and less talked about is if students do head back to the classroom, how would the schools physically get them there? CBS 3's Emma Quinn spoke with the superintendent of Proctor Schools about the challenges the pandemic brings to busing and the changes that could be coming.
For the Proctor School District, the possibility of reopening school in the fall could mean many changes. One of the biggest changes could be getting on the bus. In years past, Proctor Schools would pick up all elementary, middle, and high school students at once and drop them off at their respective schools. But this school year, if schools are to reopen, the bus schedule would be tiered to allow for cleaning and social distancing. Proctor's superintendent says that means the high school and middle school students would be picked up first, buses would be cleaned, and elementary school students would be picked up and dropped off after.
Yeah, so one of the biggest challenges that every school district is having is transportation. How are we going to get kids from their homes to school, especially when we look at capacity and social distancing. So we can't put 70 kids on a bus like we would in a normal start of the school year.
With the tiered bus routes, the high school and middle school would start at 7:45 a.m. That's 15 minutes earlier than in years past. The elementary schools would start at 9 a.m., an hour later than normal. Now, again, these are all possibilities as the district is waiting for the state to make an announcement next week on how schools will reopen. Officials with the Proctor School District say they will be able to finalize those plans come next week.
Thanks, Emma. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear from other Proctor District officials about changes coming to the classroom and to athletics.
It's been 4 months since the pandemic took hold in Minnesota, and state health officials say intense efforts to protect long-term care facilities are working. The majority of COVID case deaths have been in those facilities. The state implemented a plan to curb that trend, including sharply limiting access to them, upping testing, and ensuring proper PPE and staffing. Department of Health Commissioner Jan Malcolm says they went from 137 deaths a week in care facilities in May to just 13 last week. She says the majority of facilities in the state don't have a single case.
These facilities are safer today than they were at the beginning of the pandemic. And the proactive measures we have implemented in partnership with them have thankfully made outbreaks the exception rather than the norm.
State leaders say they know restricting family visits in particular has been tough on people who live in long-term care. They thanked families for finding creative ways to stay connected.
2 Northland cities will consider face mask requirements tonight. The Superior City Council is expected to vote during their meeting tonight. If approved, the requirement would take effect on Monday in all indoor public places and on public transit. It would last through the end of September or until the city's emergency declaration expires. Cloquet will also consider a similar mandate during their council meeting tonight. No word on when their requirement would take effect. This comes as dozens of cities across Minnesota are now requiring face masks while in public. Duluth passed an emergency mandate last week. Superior's meeting starts at 6:30 tonight and Cloquet's at 7 p.m. You can stream both of them. We have links on our website.
Cub Foods is the latest Minnesota-based retailer to announce customers will have to wear face masks while shopping in stores. The rule goes into effect next Tuesday, along with other health and safety guidelines recommended by the CDC. Minnesota-based Target, Best Buy, and Caribou Coffee also recently announced their own mask policies. A number of cities in Minnesota have already issued their own face mask mandates. Governor Tim Walz is expected to make an announcement about a statewide mandate on Wednesday.
Two of Minnesota's largest unions have weighed in on the race for the 8th Congressional District. AFSCME Council 5 and 65 endorsed Democrat Quinn Nystrom today. They say the Crow Wing County resident will stand up for Minnesota workers. Nystrom is challenging Republican Congressman Pete Stauber in the upcoming election.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, how one local college professor is looking into how microplastics impact our waters, and now a new funding source is making that task a little easier.
Thick cloud cover today kept the sun away and dropped our temperature to 60 for a high. 77 is the norm, but we'll get back to the normal and go above it with a vengeance by the weekend. In between, rain showers still likely tonight, maybe some storms mixed in, which we'll talk about after this break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3.
At Lift Pro International, we have custom designed and fabricated lifting, weighing, and rigging solutions for more than 40 years. With a worldwide presence and reputation, we need world-class insurance to match. This is why we trust Cindy of Vernon Insurance to make sure we're fully covered no matter where in the world we're doing business.
Protect your home, vehicle, or business, and your peace of mind. Call Cindy at Vernon Insurance today.
Got a tough job to tackle? New Holland has a full line of tractors to make sure you're ready to meet any challenge. From compact tractors and attachments to tractors ready to work on the farm, New Holland has the products and know-how to make sure you get the job done right the first time. With over 100 years of experience providing tractors for the home, farm, and everything in between, we have the solution to meet your demands. New Holland.
What serves you better than Lulich Implement?
On the south shore of the greatest of the Great Lakes, Mother Nature's artistry is on full display in the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore. The best way to see it is on board Apostle Islands Cruises, located in the quaint city of Bayfield, Wisconsin. Visit our website at apostleisland.com. Apostle Islands Cruises, the best way to visit the Apostle Islands.
We dance for healing. We dance for one another. For connection. In ways like no other. Together. Or even apart. We are resilient. The 2020 census is here. And we need to do our part for our people.
It's 2020 summer clearance time at Duluth Dodge. Purchase a new Jeep Cherokee and finance for 84 months at 0% interest. Wow, 0% for 84 months. Only at the new Duluth Dodge, 4755 Miller Trunk Highway or DuluthDodgeMinnesota.com.
Always on the go, but want to keep up with the day's news? Don't worry. Now we are wherever you are. Traveling? No problem. Stream wherever, whenever with Live Local CBS 3.
Getting the gloves on. She's going to work. 12 hard-working Americans.
I just want to show folks that there's opportunities out there.
Will compete at real job sites.
I'm a strong believer in taking control of your own life.
We have a burst pipe. Everything you got. 61 years old. This man knows how to work.
I'm a force to be reckoned with. I'm not punching out.
Tough as nails. New episode Wednesday, 8/7 Central on CBS.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS 3 Duluth. CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
As the rain continues to come down, rain totals are going up, and Solon Springs now is at about 2 1/4 inches, Hibbing at about 1 1/4. From the Twin Ports to Ashland, 3/4 of an inch, and still holding steady at a 1/2 inch, Ironwood, Hayward, International Falls, and Two Harbors. About 4 more hours of rain possible in Minnesota, perhaps another 6 or so for Wisconsin and the UP, so of course these numbers could go up. Haven't heard of any problems with flooding yet, but keep an eye on the roadways. That could happen as the night goes on, especially for Wisconsin and Michigan. In that part of the world, there's also a chance for storms to redevelop. That severe thunderstorm warning that was hitting Burnett County earlier has gone away. Burnett County is out from under the gun, but that line of storms has moved over towards Rice Lake, and it's a bit rambunctious down there. But up here in our neck of the woods, that means it is avoiding places like Minong and Hayward for the time being. We'll keep our eye on the Doppler all night long for you, though. Right now, we're keeping our eye on the current conditions at the airport in Duluth, where it's 60 degrees, north wind 3 miles per hour, 1,013 millibars for the air pressure. Temperatures right now, 64 Watersmeet, 67 Ironwood, 68 still from Ashland to Hayward and Solon Springs now, 60 for Superior and Proctor, 63 Moose Lake, upper 50s from Silver Bay to Two Harbors. Grand Marais in that mix as well. Grand Portage probably 2, mid-50s towards Ely and Winton and Babbitt. 56 Hibbing Chisholm, 60 Grand Rapids, 66 International Falls. Low temps tonight, thanks to the cool down, could run anywhere from the upper 40s up north. Oh, maybe to the mid-50s for the rest of our region here. Cooler than normal for the highs and the lows, at least for a little while. By the weekend, we go back towards much warmer than normal and more humid than normal and perhaps uncomfortable for Saturday and Sunday. Right now, well, it's humid, but it's cooler, and this low-pressure system working through the area has been bringing rain to northern Minnesota and to northwestern Wisconsin and the UP already. And now along its cold front boundary, here's where we see that line of storms over towards Burnett County heading towards Rice Lake. And again, that could build into the rest of Wisconsin and the UP as the night goes on, as the low-pressure system and a cold front continues to go towards the east. But as early as tomorrow morning, higher pressure settling in for midweek at least, brings back drier conditions for Wednesday and Thursday. But by Friday, this low-pressure system could bring back the shower and storm chance, and it'll also bring back heat and humidity, which we'll show you on the 7-day forecast here. Tonight in Minnesota, look for the low temps to run from 48 to 54. 60% chance for more rain for the next 4 hours or so. Then in Wisconsin and Michigan, it's a 70% chance for more showers and storms. Lows in the mid-50s there. For tomorrow, Wisconsin, Michigan daytime high still cooler than normal, 66 to 70 with a partly sunny sky. Minnesotans get a partly sunny sky with highs ranging from 60 by the lake to 72 around Moose Lake. Now with the extended forecast here, 68 gives way to 75 by Thursday. Back to 83 Friday. Next low pressure system brings in weekend shower and storm chances. And the heart of that system pulls in warm southerly winds. 88 degrees in the Twin Ports. 87 on Sunday if it get 88 on Saturday, Tony. 90 probably not out of the question inland. Hot and humid, potentially stormy. There's another situation where we'll have to probably keep our eyes on the radar screens.
Nice to get some middle road temperatures there after how hot it was on Saturday. Today I was actually wearing a sweatshirt. Now some, you know, reasonable temperatures there to end.
And I put on one of my old beat-up Coast Guard surplus jackets to go out and about, and I think I even turned off the AC on the car.
I sure did too. Thanks, Dave.
Despite the less than ideal weather, it is opening day at the Head of the Lakes Fair in Superior. Organizers and vendors are opening with safety precautions due to the ongoing pandemic. Hand washing and hand sanitizer stands will be placed throughout the fairgrounds. Vendors will also have their own safety precautions. Minnesota Fire Protection is a new vendor this year. Their CEO weighed in on what he hopes fairgoers will keep in mind.
People are responsible for themselves, right? They need to take their own personal risk. People should be wearing masks if they're coming to something like this. That's the guidelines that we've been told to follow by the medical professionals. But as long as people are practicing their social distancing and they're being smart about sanitizing their hands and then wearing masks, I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue.
Fair organizers say face masks are strongly encouraged and will be on sale at the fair. Gates opened at 6 o'clock tonight, and the fair will run through Sunday. Douglas County is reporting 75 confirmed COVID-19 cases. That's 28 new cases since July 7th. Superior Mayor Jim Payne declined to comment on their decision to hold the fair since it's on county grounds. We did reach out to the Douglas County Board Chairman, but did not hear back by news time.
A big grant will help a UWS professor better understand understand how microplastics are impacting our waters. Professor Lorena Rios Mendoza and her colleagues will use the $40,000 to conduct research in the St. Louis River Estuary and Western Lake Superior. The funding will help them dive deeper into how much plastic is in the water and where it's coming from and where it's going.
Lake Superior, that is the main source of fresh water. Yes, and then it's important to keep it clean. And the plastic is one pollutant. And for the students, this is a huge opportunity to work with the freshwater environment.
She says this type of research will motivate and challenge students to study real environmental issues in the world.
Coming up in sports, for sale by owner. The Minnesota Timberwolves may be hitting the market. Kelly's in next.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. The TED event is happening now, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
The nursing program at Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is really challenging, but it has to be. It's approved by the Board of Nursing. And graduates here have been successfully passing the state board exam. They give you real-world experience with healthcare institutions across the community. I'm really glad I chose Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College.
Find the home of your dreams with Homes by Edmunds. Whether you're buying or selling, trust Duluth's oldest real estate company, Homes by Edmunds, LLP. Sunday mornings at 10:30 on CBS3.
Helping to make memories for generations. Numi Jewelers.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It just gives you such a boost of confidence.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something on the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes, and as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is wholly words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing? Or
It absolutely could be a daily thing, but the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
I chose a career that isn't easy, it's dangerous, and it's hard. Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College has set me up with everything I need to succeed. Through challenging classes, longer defensive tactics training, and instructors who work in the industry, Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is setting me up for success.
Quite possibly the last bit of news we expected to hear today is that the Minnesota Timberwolves might be up for sale. According to sports business publication Sportico, owner Glenn Taylor has hired the Rain Group to explore a sale of the NBA franchise. There's not much else we know at this time, except that Sportico is saying that Taylor is seeking $1.2 billion for the franchise, and Taylor has said that he intends to keep it in Minnesota. And that former Timberwolves legend Kevin Garnett has been mentioned by multiple sources as an interested buyer. This is an ongoing story. This week marks the return of Major League Baseball. That's right. If you Google Minnesota Twins schedule, an actual schedule pops up. And tomorrow night, the Twins will take the field in Chicago for their first and only scrimmage before the real games begin next week. According to Twins manager Rocco Baldelli, the team could not be more ready for baseball to begin. As of 3 o'clock today, the team was on their way to Chicago for the first and only scrimmage against the Cubs. After a few weeks of makeshift spring training, the team is ready.
I don't know if our group could be more ready than they are. I mean, if you really look at the number of days, we've been able to get out here, and physically our guys are in very good shape. Mentally, they're ready to play. This is something that everyone's been waiting for a long time, especially the players.
And here's something I have been waiting to see, a game scheduled for the Minnesota Twins. Tomorrow, the Twins play the Cubs in their only spring training game. Game starts at 6:05 p.m. That's over on Fox Sports North. And some academic awards are in order for UMD athletics. Both sophomore forward Tanner Latteru and freshman goaltender Ryan Fanti were named AHCA All-American Scholars. It is Latteru's second year in a row garnering the honor. For Fanti, it's in order to, first ever for Fanti, and in order to achieve All-American status, athletes must have attained a 3.75 GPA for the fall semester and participated in 40% of their school's games, which Latteru and Fanti both did. Haley Rendell of UMD Track and Field has been named U.S. Track and Field NCAA Division II All-American All-Academic Athlete. The entire UMD Track and Field team was recognized as an All-American Track and Field team as well. They accumulated a 3.36 GPA for the men's squad and a 3.66 GPA for the women cumulative. Rendell was set to make her second national indoor appearance at the 2020 NCAA Division II Indoor Track and Field Championships in Pittsburgh, Kansas, before the suspension of competition due to COVID-19 this past spring. A female coach has made baseball history. Alyssa Nakin is the first female to coach on the field during a major league game. She entered during these late innings to coach first base for the San Francisco Giants in their exhibition game yesterday against the Oakland A's. She is also the first female coach on staff in league history. And before last night's game, the San Francisco Giants-Oakland A's game, several Giants players and coaches, including manager Gabe Kapler, took a knee during the national anthem. Outfielders Jalen Davis, Mike Yastrzemski, and Austin Slater were the players who knelt. Shortstop Brandon Crawford stood between Davis and first base coach Anton Richardson with his hands on their shoulders. Former 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick was the first pro athlete to kneel during the national anthem to bring attention to police brutality. That is going to do it for sports for now. We'll have more back here tonight at 10. For now, Kristen and Tony, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, the coronavirus pandemic has put more than 1,500 Iron Range miners out of work. But for employees at one mining facility, there's no timeline for when or even if they'll be clocking back in. In tonight's Eye on Mining, we're hearing from a local lawmaker who is stepping up in hopes of helping out those miners should they need it. We'll see you back here at 10.
Thanks for watching.